Hello everyone, it's Sippy Cup, and I've got a new game to show you guys today. This is StarDrive. StarDrive is a Space 4X. It is developed by Zero Sum Games and published by Iceberg Interactive. So let's take a look. Go ahead and make a new game. These are the races that you have access to. Note that you're not locked into these traits that they have. You can actually select and deselect the ones that you want. So I'm just going to be kind of going with humans probably for simplicity's sake, but just to quickly show you what we've got, there are the Chordrazine, who are a race of mollusks, mollusk-like aliens that enslave these owlocks. Think of a cross between Ewoks and owls, and you've got the basic idea. You've got the Dreylock, who are more than meets the eye. They're master spies and duplicitous. Humans, well, they're humans. Kolrathi are samurai space bears, warrior poets. The Opterus are, let's see, once they were insectoid race, but now they are robots. They sacrificed their flesh and took on cybernetic forms. The Polyps are plant-like creatures, mostly peaceful. The Ralya are like Cthulhuoid monstrosities who want to bring death to the entire galaxy. And the Vulfar are kind of wolfy, jackally, scavenger, brutish types. So that's your basic selection. Each of them has unique sort of attributes here that are broken into these categories. You've got physical, sociological, and then history and tradition. So humans are smart, so that gives them a bonus to research. They are industrious, which I believe gives them a bonus to production. And then they are meticulous, which gives them bonus tax income, which is quite nice. And they have a prototype flagship, which is basically every race starts with a flagship, but a prototype flagship basically means that it's going to have some tech on there that you wouldn't normally have access to. So I'll go ahead and choose humans. You can choose your flag and color and stuff here, so if I want something a little different looking, I can do that. Not the crab claw. We'll go with these sort of twin slashy looking things. Maybe it's supposed to be Saturn or a planet with rings. So here you can change some basic parameters. I'm going to leave the galaxy size at medium. I am going to leave solar systems alone. I'm going to reduce the number of opponents just for the sake of sparing my computer some undue wear and tear. Game mode, Sandbox, seems to be the only mode that's currently unlocked. Oh, this is beta, by the way, I forgot to mention. It's available on Steam, and it's basically a pre-order, which gives you immediate access to the beta. So pacing, actually this is a little counterintuitive. Turning pacing up makes a game take longer, so you want 100% pacing for the fastest game. Difficulty, I'm going to set this on easy because I'm still learning the game, so I don't want to go too crazy. Alright, so that should be everything. I'm not going to mess around with any of these traits. I think these are fine. I'm sure that there's a way to min-max it, but I just want to get into this and kind of show you guys what it's all about. So I guess if I had to say what game this is closest to, I would probably say it reminds me the most of Distant Worlds, I think, in terms of automation and just kind of pacing and feel. It's not turn-based, it's basically real-time. It can be paused at any time. Alright, actually the game has some really nice concept art too. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to pause it real quick here so I can get started on the right footing without the AI getting leaps and bounds ahead of me. So I'm going to zoom way out and kind of give you a sense of how big the galaxy is here. I can drag this around and you can see all these stars here, systems that we can explore. So we start in the Sol system, naturally, being humans. And we are on Earth. So I guess, let me tell you a little bit about what all these numbers mean. Let me zoom out a little bit so you can see. Here, if I expand the view like this. And I apologize that the numbers are so small. The UI is nice looking, but Unfortunately, if you're not an eagle eye, it might be hard to read some of this stuff. So here's a basic breakdown. This top number is your current out of your maximum population for a planet. So you can see that, Venus, Mercury, and Mars have much smaller maximum population. This, what looks like an ear of corn here, it's hard to see that probably, is your food output for the planet, the base food output. This is 6.6 it looked like, or I'm going blind. This is a hammer icon, that is your production output, so think of it as sort of minerals and resources. And then the flasks here are of course science, 1.4 science output. Alright, so now we can zoom back in. You can see that on the planet itself I've got sliders where I can basically adjust my priorities for science and production and food, and I can do this on a planet by planet basis. So let's see. First thing I'm going to do is set my scout to auto explore. I'm going to give it orders and then go exploring. Here is my flagship, which I can control manually actually, so if I unpause here I can show you. I can use WASD, and in a similar fashion to Starfarer, or I guess it's called Star Sector now. For some reason it doesn't want to let me fire. Oh, there we go. Wrong mouse button. So it's a right mouse button used to fire. Alright, so let's see. Alright, before I get too far, I guess I want to start researching something, and then I'll get back into explaining things here. So here's a tech tree. It's not super big compared to a lot of other games. It's pales in comparison to the size of, say, these civilization games, tech trees. But it's broken down into colonization, energy, socio-logistics, physics, space weapons, and starship construction. So I'm going to start with industrial foundations because I always do, and I think it's probably the best thing to start with overall. And what it does is it gives you access to two buildings. One is a warehouse. It's going to increase the maximum amount of food and production which can be stored at a planet. And it will also give you access to this rover bay, which will give a colony a flat +1 production bonus. And that doesn't sound like a lot, but keep in mind that your planets are not going to have hundreds of production. They're going to have on the order of 1 to 10 production. So +1 is actually quite a nice bonus. Alright, so that is what I'm going to queue up first, and then let's see, I think I want to do probably interstellar governance next to keep my tax income up. And then I'll have to figure it out. For now I'll just select those two. Probably aeroponics, which is going to give me a aeroponic farm. It's going to boost my food output. Alright, so let's get back here. So, alright. The first thing I'm going to want to do is find more planets to colonize, because the AI can and will scoop up all the good ones, and there are good ones and there are bad ones. You want to have the good ones. I think that to get off on the best footing, you pretty much have to snatch up as many good ones as you can early in the game, or you're kind of screwed. So to that end, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my planet here. I'm going to queue up some scout ships, but I don't want to make these unarmed scouts because they are slow. So I'm going to edit the ship design, and this is really tiny and hard to see. It's a little bit easier to see with the bigger ship classes, but this is the ship customization menu. I'm not going to drill down too far into it right now. What I am going to do is remove these two engines here, and I'm going to replace them. They were small engines. I'm going to replace them with small warp engines. The reason is that your ships basically have two speeds. They have a sublight speed and they have an FTL speed, or faster than light speed. Scouts spend very little time flying around at sublight speed. They're mostly going to be warping from system to system, so I want them to have a very fast FTL speed. So now we can save this design as, let's call it FTL Scout. We'll save that. And now I should be able to, might have to, there we go. Alright, now I can produce a couple of these here. Let's remove that. Get a couple more of these FTL Scouts. And actually I can rush production on these just like a lot of 4X games. However, when you do this, it's going to take 10 production from storage if you have it, and take an equal amount of credits. So it actually costs a 1-to-1 ratio of production and credits. So here I'll rush these. So each one is just going to take 1 production more to make. It's not efficient to stick that last click in there because I'm going to be wasting 9 credits and 9 production each time I do that. So I can unpause, and I should have some scouts popping out here shortly. And I will make these go auto explore as well. For some reason it doesn't want to click. Here we go. Go exploring. Alright. There's another one. And the third one. Go exploring. Alright. So now let's take a look and see if we found anything nice yet. Norni. Here is an unexplored Terran planet. See how good that is in a second when my scout gets over there. You can see it warping pretty quickly around. Seems I found an anomaly. Those are quite nice, and I will show you how I would go about investigating that. So this planet is not that great. It's got a fair amount of maximum population, but the production and the fertility, let's say, are not that great. Let's check out what other systems we've seen. Alright, these icons mean that there was combat in this system, so space combat is occurring. Probably they were firing on my scout. There are some kind of remnant ships. They're literally called the Remnant. They are, I think, kind of rogue AI. This one looks very nice. Oceanic average, got very high food production, decent amount of production, 4.4. I'll probably end up colonizing that one and the other one, but actually that system has to be cleared of bad guys. What do we got here? Oh, that's my scout, and that is a gas giant that's uninhabitable by my species. And then the swamp planet. Now, another way that we can do this, rather than going through and looking at this on a system-by-system basis, is we can take advantage of a nice feature. This is a very good one. I think I would take that. So one thing we can do is we can come over here to the mini-map and click on this planets button, and then we can sort by various things like max population. So there's that Terran average planet I was looking at before. So these top ones here, we're looking for ones that have a decent max population. None of them are going to really compare to Earth most likely, but you may get lucky and find one that's got a max pop that high. And then I want also some that have pretty decent fertility and richness. So I'm not really seeing any with really high richness, and the ones that are barren. So I think Noremi and Remius are going to be the first two that I colonize. Where do I want? Extorma. Let's see. Oh yeah, Remius. Okay, so we'll get these two colonized here. So let's see. It was this one. Then I can just click colonize, and my home base will automatically build a colony ship. Actually, I've got one built already. And then this guy over here, we'll colonize that. And unpause. Okay, so now for the anomalies, what I need to do is I need to build troops and send them to investigate. The way that I'm going to do this is I'm going to go to my planet here. It's currently building a colony ship, but I can rush some troops here. So Space Marines for the Emperor, etc. Let me rush these here a bit. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, so now I got these Space Marines, and I have to go into a different view. This is kind of clunky, but this button down here is your ground assault view. So here's my Space Marines. I'm going to launch them into orbit. Unpause. and then I'm going to send them to investigate these anomalies. The anomalies can be a few different things. It could just be a trap left behind. It could be technology. It could be an abandoned ship. It could be a lot of cool stuff. So the first Space Marine guys are going to go here to Loth, and the next ones are going to go up here to Maiden. Oh, there's actually 2 anomalies in this system, and I accidentally deselected. Yar. Alright. Where did you go? Alright. Let's try that again. Alright, sending that. Okay. So, now that is in progress. It looks like I have a colony ship en route to Noremi to make a colony there. And when that's done, I'm going to show you some automation and some freighter stuff. And then, oops, oh, I just encountered the Draylock. So, remember when I said more than meets the eye? This is why. That's what they really look like. And if you ask them about it, why are you using holograms? They say they're holo chairs on the fritz. So their deal is that they are this sort of spy race. They're all about sowing discontent and spying and things like that. Anyway, I don't really have anything to say to them right now, so I'm just going to end that conversation. But where are they? Oh, I can see they're down here. So that is where their homeworld is. Okay, so let's see, my Space Marines are on their way. We've got a technology training. Let's see. Double check and make sure there's not anything I should be building right now. I'm going to need freighters eventually, but I don't really need any right now. I'm not going to build any scouts yet because there is an upkeep cost for ships, and I don't really need to defend myself yet, especially not on easy. I don't think that the AI is going to go that crazy. So you actually can speed up the game if you were so inclined by pressing the plus sign on the numpad. So I can do that. Of course, you sometimes get little lag spikes when you do that. Okay, so here my Space Marines are in orbit at Loth. So now I have to, I have to go here to the ground assault view. I have to bring up my troops and drop them and then unpause. What did I find? A sad wreck. Your forces examine the wreckage of what is clearly a very, very ancient shipwreck. Time and nature have taken their tolls, curiosities, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so I just got money, basically. And now these guys are on the planet, so I can launch them back into orbit. And maybe I can send them to investigate the other... No, I want to select this. Select my troops. I'll send them to investigate that other anomaly. They're always worth investigating. Worst case scenario, you lose some Space Marines, and you know, that is prone to happen. But best case scenario, you could get something pretty sweet. Ah, here, these guys are the guys who are like Cthulhu and want to bring death to the universe. I don't have anything to say to them. I'll get more into diplomacy later. Oh, speaking of which, I need to start training up some spies. So I'm just going to select a couple of spies here. I'm going to send them on a training mission. And just to quickly show you what kinds of things they can do, they have infiltration, assassination, sabotage, steal tech, robbery, and sight rebels. I'll probably get more into this stuff at a later time, but for now I just kind of want to give you a quick peek at what the game is about. Alright, and it looks like I just founded a new colony. So I'm going to minimize these. Okay, let's bring up my new colony that just went in. I'm going to set this with a governor. Now this planet has kind of not great fertility or richness, so I'm going to change this to a core world. It doesn't really make sense to specialize it in agriculture or industry because it kind of sucks at both. It does have a nice population though, and I can reap some taxes from that once I get the tax center here. I forget what it's called. But now, if I want to shift resources from here to here, I've got to set them to export. So I've got Earth set to export food and production. And I've got Noremi. I keep wanting to call it Normandy. I've been playing too much Mass Effect, I guess. I've got it set to import. So now, normally you would have to manually build freighters to ferry freight between these colonies. But what I can do is I can go into the AI menu and I can go automatic freighters. And then, in theory, the AI will automatically build freighters for me and get them going, bringing colonists from Earth to Normi, as well as goods. Oh, I discovered the polyps. Cloudy weather traveler, hello. I play for you a song of greetings. Thanks. Cool song. Alright. So, let's see. How's my Marines doing up here? I'll send them down to investigate. Mysterious tomb. What could possibly go wrong? Latinum scepter. Nice. Your forces enter the mysterious tomb and find evidence of a long-dead civilization. Deep within the tomb's halls, they discover a mysterious artifact encased in some sort of energy field. They disable the shield and take the artifact. Upon returning to the planet's surface, they find themselves surrounded by skeletons of the long dead, seemingly animated by the same energy field that had encased the artifact. So, I got a scepter, which gives me a diplomacy bonus, but now my Space Marines are well and truly screwed, surrounded by skeletons. What are these? Skeleton? They're probably about to die right now. Oh, maybe not. Oh, yeah, they're dead. Okay. So, Space Marines die sometimes. Most of the time. Literally all the time. Okay, now, let's see. Okay, so I got my scouts going and exploring the universe. I've got... Is this a colony ship is coming down here to Extorma? I better check my planet screen and see if any other fatty planets popped up anywhere. Ooh. That's a big one. Amundi and Arborg. These are both pretty solid. Those are big. So let's see if we can find these. Amundi and Arborg. Probably not close to me. Ah, yeah. Also, there's enemy forces there. What about Arborg? It's way far away, and yeah. Well, RNG is pretty bad in this game as far as getting lucky or unlucky with starting planet distribution. Let's see, a colony going up there already. And then Maiden. These are all kind of crappy. Well, for now I'll just have to make do with these colony here and here. Okay, so my Space Marines are going. Alright. So, yeah, I mean, basically that's kind of the first quick look at what's going on. One other thing I'll say is that you also want to automate this auto build projectors. So there is this technology or a building called a Subspace Projector. And normally you would build it like this by selecting a planet and pressing B and then building it here. What it does is the game's documentation on this is not very good, but it's basically used for setting up space lanes. They'll be set up at pretty regular intervals between regularly traveled routes, and it will basically allow your ships to travel faster along those lines. And secondly, it will allow you to not use fuel while you travel. Okay, so let's see. I'll just keep going until I get my Space Marines here to check out this artifact, just in case it's anything cool. Here you can see this green. The AI is already setting up a location for one of those subspace projectors. I'll speed this up a smidge. So yeah, new colony going in there. Space Marines going. Let's see, this person wants to have a mutual non-aggression pact. Sure. Let's be friends. For now. Ooh, my spy training is done. Austin Hunt is a dummy. He has to wear the dunce cap because he went on a training mission and didn't learn anything. The other guy got a level. Let's see, let's send this guy again. Remedial spy training, whatever. Okay. You can right click to close those, or left click to investigate. Let's see, slow the game back down with the minus key on the numpad, and let's check out this anomaly. My other colony was formed. Let me just quickly set this guy. What is this? It's mostly fertile. Let's make this an agricultural world. So the labor is going to be mostly focused on agriculture. They are going to export food. Alright, so now we come back here. Gonna check out the ground view. This is another tomb. Let's drop my troops. Unpause. 750 money. Yeah! Sweet. Well, we don't want to leave them stranded here, so we'll launch them back up. And let's see. Where do you guys want to go today? Find another anomaly to send them to. Death. This sounds like an inviting system. Death 3. Is that even? It is an ice planet. Damn it, I hate it when I unselect the things I have selected. I'm sure there's an easier way to do this. Okay, Space Marine, you are going to go to the idyllic planet of Death 3. Alright. So yeah, there's trading, there's combat, there's research, there's all kinds of exploration, and it's a pretty fun game. One thing I will say is that for a beta pre-order, the price, the price point for this is like $25, I think. It's going to go up. There's a 15% discount right now until the game goes live, and then that discount will go away. $25 is kind of a lot, I would say. The game is good, it's polished. I've been following this game for a long time, and I've been very excited to play it. And having played it for probably about 9 or 10 hours now, I'm liking it a lot. I like it better than Endless Space for a few reasons, mostly because the ship customization is so cool. I don't really have any big ship classes to show you right now, but it's really fun to dig in here and do that. But it doesn't really bring anything new to the table as far as, you know, innovations or quality of life improvements or anything like that. It's just kind of, you know, it's exactly what I expected. It's a Space 4X and it's good. It's well done. It's polished. But I think that I would hope that there would be some additional improvements, you know, over the next few months or whatever to kind of add a little something else, something more, a little je ne sais quoi. Anyway, that's going to be it for now. Hope you guys enjoyed this quick peek at StarDrive. It's a very fun game. I hope to make some more videos on it, so watch out for those. Until next time, goodbye.